with Halsey Allen. The Narrative Podcast is changing the narrative one episode at
a time. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Narrative Podcast. I am your host, Halsey Allen. I hope you had a great week, and I hope you're having a fantastic weekend so far. The weather is beautiful in my neck of the woods. I know I sure did. Had the time of my life. Anyways, welcome all my narrators. Welcome to any people that may be new to my podcast. Welcome. So my narrators, they already know the score. I'll break it down, what it is I do here on this platform for all my newbies. So first and foremost, it's called the Narrative Podcast. It's called the Narrative Podcast for a reason, because I feel, in my opinion, that the powers that be, weave false narratives about original people and original culture. And when I say original, I'm saying that in replacement of the word black. I had an epiphany about that. I'll get into that a little bit later, but I'm just going to focus on what my platform's about. So basically, I feel they weave a false narrative about original people and original culture. They depict this in a negative light. They promote, generate, and perpetuate negative stereotypes about our people and our culture. Some of it is for profit, or most of it's for profit, but the other is to just basically sustain their life as the higher echelon of society. They use these negative stereotypes against us in like purchasing land and doing things to block us from bettering ourselves and propelling and moving forward as a people, such as like buying land, buying houses and properties. They just, put us in the most negative light as possible. So on my platform, what I want to do is basically destroy the negative stereotypes about our people and our culture by highlighting and playing up our strengths and our successes, telling our stories from our perspectives on our own terms and conditions. So essentially, it's a love fest. I provide positive frames of reference about our people and our culture on my platform. What I do not do is, name call, gossip, and drag people to like get my point across. When I do bring up celebrities, it's really just for a frame of reference, because the ultimate takeaway that I want you to get from listening to my podcast is the importance of sharing positive content, because these, television network execs and people that put this content out, they're getting their data from the content you post online these days. So like your online content has replaced the Nielsen ratings. They're going off by, what you're looking at online. They think that's what you want to see, and they want to create a market for that. So if they see you always posting gang culture, drug culture, thought culture, that's, what they're going to create to, satisfy that need. And whole time we want like stories of redemption, leadership. We want stories to showcase our intellect, that we, have cognitive thought. We want to think about things, our issues, debate the issues, just regular stuff. So basically what I do here on this platform, I normalize being normal. Like waking up and going to sleep in violence is not normal. That's not what our people are about. We've been programmed, it's been ingrained into us, and we've been programmed into believing it to some capacity. And it's true because if you look at our neighborhoods, um, the crime rates, I don't want to go too far down down that rabbit hole. I just basically want you to know um, I basically am providing positivity on my platform. That's what my platform is designed for. Now, going back to the original thing, before I dive into the content, I recently had an epiphany about the word black and the negative connotation surrounding that. So, when you look at, the word black, it's always, something negative. Black, if you look it up in a dictionary, you can go right down the line. It'll tell you all the things like black, dirty, dark, desolate. So I think, the powers that be, had integral knowledge of that when they assigned that word to us to describe us. So, we kind of, as a people, we act out that word. I'll give you some examples. Like, just for example, like James Brown, like one of the biggest hits of his career was Say It Loud, I'm Black and I'm Proud. But then when you go into his personal life, you see substance abuse, you see alcoholism, you see domestic abuse. All the women he was with, allegedly, they filed charges of domestic abuse against him. He has been arrested like multiple times before he died. DUIs and, weapons and all that. So I believe in the power of words. Also, let's look in the animal kingdom. Just right off the top of the head, in the ocean, the big whale, the orca whale, it's mostly black. It has some white spots on it, but it's mostly black. They call that the killer whale. Meanwhile, the shark is a even greater predator than the whale. It's known for being more aggressive, but they call the shark the great white shark. So you see the parallel, the distinction, like everything white is holy, clean, pristine, but then black is dirty, desolate, violent, aggressive. So on my platform, I just refer to us as original people because, you cannot refute that. It's a scientifically proven fact that we are on this planet first. It's a scientifically proven fact that we were in the Americas first, pretty much every corner of the globe. We inhabited originally. And as original men and women, we've never subjugated anyone else. We've never tried to impose or impart our will or belief system on anyone else. All we've ever done all throughout time is teach, educate, nurture, teach people how to survive, been an instrument to learn from. We've never taken anything from anyone. We've never tried to, we never initiated any conflict with anyone. We sure ended some, but we never initiated any. When we fought amongst each other, this is just like, that's the fury of man. Tribes fight against other tribes. And when we took captives, it's like prisoners of war, but they called it slavery. So they tried to throw that card out there. Well, the Africans, they was involved in the slave trade too. No, they were not. But I digress. I didn't want to go too super deep. I can go super deep, but I'm not because it's not that show. Again, I'm just here to provide positive frames of reference about our people and our culture. So diving right into the content, I have broken down my podcast into sections. Each section has speaking points, and I'll describe each section as I come to them. But first, before even that, I want to take this time to apologize for the ad rolls. I have this platform monetized. I do not know when the ad rolls will occur. I'm recording right now. Sometimes they come right in mid-speech, so I don't know. So taking that time to apologize right now. Also taking this time to thank all my loyal listeners for supporting the Narrative Podcast and helping my vision come into fruition. Thank you. Thank you for all the downloads. Thank you for all the shares. Thank you for staying consistent and listening to me every weekend. Thank you for checking out my lives. Thank you for keeping my, the Narrative Podcast name circulating in the vlogosphere. Thank you. Thank you very much. So now on to the content. My very first section is the promotional section. And in this section, what I'm doing is extending the offer for original people that either own or operate their own business, product, or service, need some free promotion for the business, product, or service that they provide. For free promotion, please hit me up at Passion Webmail at poeticpassion.host, and in the subject bar, type promo. Body of the email, to be as specific as possible about your business, product, or service. Describe it to me in detail. If you have a brick and mortar location, address, hours of operation, email address, include all that. Be specific as possible. Tell me a little bit about yourself so I can give you a proper promotional plug. And I'm doing it 110% for free. So I'm not charging any money. So you might as well just use my platform. And my intent behind that is keeping the original dollar circulating in the original community. So I'm trying to throw you some business, trying to help you expand your business with the intent that my intent in my, I'm trying to X the word hope out of my vocabulary. If you was listening to my live on Thursday, you know why, but it is with my expectations that you hire your own and you provide some type of service for the community. You either have your own nonprofit organization or pay into one, or, sponsor, things in the community that you're rooted in. So we can really just build a infrastructure again, and get back to how we used to be before we integrated. So once again, for the free promotion, hit me up at Passion Webmail at poeticpassion.host. In the subject bar, type promo. Got it? All right. Second part of the podcast is the promotional portion of the podcast. And what I'm doing is, it's basically an incentive reward. I want to reward everybody to all my loyal listeners, giving them the opportunity to win something free. And also people new to the podcast, if they just stumbled on, maybe they only caught 1 or 2 episodes, giving y'all the opportunity to win something for free and engage you with my content until I get the hotline situation set up, till I get my lives and all that set up to where I can engage you more fully. For right now, I just want you to participate in this contest. And if for your participation, I'm going to reward you with a bulk supply of your favorite snack. And to enter the contest, you enter the same email address that I just gave out for the business owners for the free promotion. The way I'm separating them is through the subject bar. So for the contest, you hit me up at passionwebmail@poeticpassion.host. In the subject bar, what you want to do is type chew on this and then slash or dash, which is ever more convenient for you. This is the topic that I want you to participate in, shopping while black, or SWB in all caps, which is ever more convenient for you. And in the body of the email, share your most recent shopping while black experience, your mailing address so I know where to send it to you, and then what type of snack do you want. And sidebar, please try to keep the story as brief as possible. I don't want to read an entire novel. I just want you to summarize it, give the high points, let me know how did you know it was racially motivated, the type of service you received, and, definitely a really good one. I'll probably read back. I probably won't read your name, but a really good shopping while black story I'll probably share on here. But you will already have your snacks. So. And another reason why I'm doing it until we get our own communities globally, universally, till it's like we have authentic original people neighborhoods like we had before we were integrated here in the States. We need to get treated like human beings, so we need to keep the conversation going and just, sticking it to them and letting them know we ain't going. So, yeah, that's another reason why I'm doing it. But, to enter the contest, hit me up at passionwebmail@poeticpassion.host. Subject bar, chew on this, slash or dash, shopping while black, or SWB in all caps. Cool. All right. So now on to the authentic, concentric start of my podcast. This is the highlight section. In this section, I will be highlighting some businesses owned and operated by original people. And the reason I'm doing this section is to provide the positive frame of reference of entrepreneurialism. The types of people I highlight in this section are just regular people with little to no educational background. If they do have an extensive collegiate background or anything that exceeds beyond high school, technical training or whatever, the training usually doesn't align up with the business that they started. The types of business that they started is just kind of something they were passionate about, and they found a way to, do it. They just got sick and tired of being sick and tired, and they want to do something, and they create their own business and create opportunity for themselves and opportunity for the community in which they're rooted in. By the way of hiring people that look like them, sponsoring things in the community, even having their own nonprofit organization or paying into one. Also, another thing that I look for in this section, these businesses align up with my theme, and this theme that I have currently is the season of fall. So, when I think of this product, I, associate it with the season of fall, or, whatever my topic is, I associate it, with the topic. So my topic is apt to change as, we're coming out of fall, we're getting closer into winter. So yeah, just be on the lookout for the change of the topic. Just a heads up. All right, so got that out the way. Like I said, my topic is the season of fall. And I don't know about you, when I think of fall, because I live in a state that's 3 seasons. So I'm just speaking about my observation from living in a 3-season state. It's not warm all the time. It's not cold all the time. You go through the seasons. Like, when it's hot, it's hot. It's cold, it's cold, and when it's mild, it's mild. But anyway, so from my observation now, it's really in the summertime because they said, the season for this particular product is summertime. But through my observation, I see people paying more attention to it in the fall. I see more people flexing them, like uploading pictures of them in the fall and wearing them and going out to buy them in the fall. And so the product that I'm speaking of is watches. So they said watch season is summertime, but like I said, through my lens, how I observe people, I see like people always buying watches in the fall. I mean, these days you kind of really don't need a watch because everybody just pulls their phone out to take the time. But people want to pull that watch out to just let you know they got a watch. And, if it's nice looking, especially if it's nice looking. So the next businesses I will be highlighting are, original people that own their own watch brands. So, first up is Tally and Twine, and the website address is tallyandtwine.com. Founder is Randy Williams. He founded the company in 2014. And just know his background story is more complex than what I'm giving. I just wanted to, because I try to keep my podcast under an hour. Because I believe if you go beyond the hour, you're ranting. It's no longer a podcast. You're just ranting. So I try to make all my podcasts as concise and concentric as possible. So, I just kind of condensed his background story, but he has a really detailed about section on the website. And then you can also, do your Googles and punch up interviews he's done, and he also does some public speaking. So, to get a better feel for his life story, you can do that. But I'm just sticking to, the highlight reel. I'm just you know what I mean? Trying to keep it short and sweet. Started his business in 2014. He had a corporate job. He got laid off. But the whole time he was trying to design watches because he just noticed, watches through his observation are in high demand. They're timeless. They never go out of style. So watches is something that you can always sell. There will always be a demand for watches. Even with the cell phones, people still buy watches because watches are an accessory. So for people that like dressing up, just watches are just always going to be a thing. No matter, what technology comes along, watches are still going to be here. So. He started his business on a Kickstarter.com with the goal of raising $24,000 in 3 days. Instead, he overshot the goal. He raised $29,000. He also moved from Virginia to Atlanta to pursue his dream. He's been on several daytime talk shows talking about, his journey. He only had $7 to his name when he moved to Atlanta from Virginia to, start his company up. He's also a motivational speaker, philanthropist. His company pays into several things for the community. And a matter of fact, that's what he says on his website, because he got, video clips posted on his website about what his business is all about. So, he hires his own and has several types of different like internship programs. He sponsors several things for the community, and trains people how to be an entrepreneur, like how to start their own product and, market and scale their product and all that. He does all that for the community, so that's why I highlighted him in this section. So yeah, give a warm narrative podcast round of applause for Randy Williams and the Tally and Twine brand watch brand. Next business. These are going to be super short. So as you see, I tried to give you the full background story so you can grasp it. That these people, they just found a way to do it. Because again, the media, they'll have you just feeling like you're boxed in, like you're trapped, using these negative stereotypes and just bombarding you with it every single day. The audio clips, the video clips of us not moving forward as a people, when in fact, we have entrepreneurs, we have scholars, we have educators, we have leaders, we have people doing positive things in our community, but all they ever want to show is show us living in strife, show us being violent towards one another, and not embracing each other, and not being good examples of the human experience. Just basically, they just try to set up the media clips and the audio to just basically make us look like savages. All right, so next original people-owned business is, I hope I'm saying this right, Vitae, Vitae, and it's the website is vtlondon.com, and the founder's name is William Adeosi. He is I think Nigerian, so if I mispronounced that, my bad. There wasn't a lot on his personal background on why he decided upon watches and how it got started, but what his brand does do, because he is, living in London by way of Africa, a proceed of his, watch sales go to the underprivileged school program in sub-Saharan Africa. So he buys backpacks and back-to-school supplies, clothing, notebooks, pencils, and all that good stuff for the children over in sub-Saharan Africa. So give another warm narrative podcast round of applause for William Adeosi. And you can follow his story. I think he got an Instagram. I've seen several news feeds local in California, and I think probably some of the major ones too. I think think it was NBC. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. But I've seen this story trending. So, if you want a more in-depth background of what I'm providing, you can feel free to do that. But in the meantime, salute to you, brothers. Salute to your brand. And we're going to give you a warm round of applause. Alrighty, Rudy. Moving right along. I think I'm getting better at these. I really do. Because when I first started my podcast, I didn't really have a direction. I was like dancing from subject to subject, just all around. I didn't even have sections when I first started. I was like really just talking and talking and talking. But as you see, my platform's grown. I have sections now. I got speaking points. I have theme music. Didn't have theme music, sound effects. I got all the bells and whistles. I'm priming to make my transition from this audio platform to video. So be on the lookout for some video content coming soon. But for right now, I'm rocking with this. Hard body rocking with it. So I've been a little over a year now, over 100 episodes in. And thanks for all the support. My platform is growing and growing and growing. All right, so my final business I will be highlighting today is ESOROC. And the founder is Ben Arol. And he's also from some part of Africa. And then Mutali, I didn't write his last name down, my bad. They use a portion of their proceeds to fund the Children's Library and Youth Center in a village in Nigeria. So definitely check out ESOROC. Oh, and I just kind of skipped over, the what makes their brands unique. So let me rectify that right quick. So the thing that sets the Italian Twine brand apart from most watches, it just has a 7 in the bezel in the face of the watch, and that's to symbolize completion. So you finished what you started. Basically, that was the motivation behind the 7. And the Vinci, their thing to set them apart is the band. Like they have really thin bands. I didn't write the characteristic for the ESOROC. But definitely go check out all those brands, support all those brands. All those brands are doing something noble and worthy of your dollars. They're not just faceless, greedy corporate entities. They are for us. So definitely support those brands and give another narrative warm round of applause for all the brands that I just highlighted. All right. So now on to my next section. This section is called the Spotlight section. In this section, what I do is I spotlight a prominent figure, and it's usually it is by this time, I say it's usually in the entertainment industry, coming from ranging from recording artists to comedians, actors, actresses, producers, directors, writers, public figures, pretty much anybody in the eye of the public that's, has some momentum behind their name, momentum behind their brand, um, has been a force in the industry and, uses their platforms to speak on our causes, um, on our plight, our cause, being unapologetic with the message, um, the way they carry and conduct themselves and just, make us look good as a people. Those are the types of people that I highlight or spotlight in the spotlight section. Now, as another sidebar that I just got to keep on, drilling this point, nobody was spotlighting anybody on the internet before I added a spotlight section on my podcast. But thank you, for noticing, for all the people that's like now they got a spotlight. They want to give this person the roses. They want to give that person the roses. And literally nobody was doing that before I started doing it. There are some exceptions, but the exceptions, they really kind of, fixate on people in the hip hop genre. But, I'm giving my roses to all original people, no matter what genre you're from. So, like I said, recording artists, comedians, writers, producers, actors, actresses, all original people on my spotlight section. And I've definitely highlighted a whole lot of hip hop artists on my spotlight section. But I digress. Now, diving right on into the content. The next person I will be highlighting is a comedian, actor. He's been acting for like pretty close to over 20 years now. Doing stand-up comedy for over 20 years now. Just a good entertainer, very good comedian. He just delivers those belly laughs, when you just laughing so hard, your stomach actually starts hurting. He's coming out that class of comedy. And he kind of got a tragic start. And like most great comedians, they do have some darkness in their world. And I think, his pain fueled him to be, a great comedian. It's just my extreme pleasure. One of my favorite comedians, actually, to give the spotlight to Mr. Tommy Davidson Jr. Okay, so he's born November 10th, 1963 in Greenville, Mississippi. Background story says he was abandoned in a trash heap at only 18 months old, adopted by interracial couple, so Caucasian couple found him, adopted him. Also says they later moved from Mississippi to D.C. after his, adopted mother divorced. Attended Bethel Chevy Chase High School in 81. I'm just like, I didn't go down the whole thing, you know what I'm saying? You know where I got the source from, but I didn't just like write all the notes. I'm just, giving you the basic overall gist. Again, being conscientious to my time goal, because I could be like months and months just telling you every avenue of his career and his personal life, his early life before he became a comedian. So I just want to get to like, the good parts. Not that any part was ever bad, just clarifying. Um, he studied communications and interned at a radio station, the University of Columbia. He got his first start in comedy, 1986. They had an open mic night at a strip club in Parkview. Later went on to star in an amateur stand-up competition held at the Apollo Theater in 1987. So it wasn't like amateur night at the Apollo. It was just like they was having an amateur night comedian type thing, showcase, and he killed. So, and then years later, like I guess his big break was in Living Color, and as they say, the rest is history. Also, when his early days, it was said in the source I got it from that he knew Martin before he was Martin, and he also met Robert Townsend in his early career. So like he met Robert Townsend right when he was coming off of the Bad Boys of Comedy. So, like I said, the reason why I chose him as a spotlight, because he has, a really motivational story. He got abandoned as an infant child and raised by a Caucasian woman, but still, when you hear the brother speak, he still embraces his roots. He knows our plights. He's very intellectual, very articulate. The way he breaks down, theologies. If you ever heard, go back and like listen to some Tommy Davidson Jr. interviews. He's really astute about what's going on in, our condition here in America, and he's very unapologetic. He calls it out, and he's just one of them people you can learn a lot from. You can learn a lot from him just hearing him speak about stuff. And that's why I'm giving him the spotlight. Not to mention that he was just a hilarious comedian, like just will have you in tears rolling. He can also sing. He does like the coldest Sammy Davis impression ever, like spot on. I still to this day haven't heard anyone in the entertainment industry do a Sammy Davis impression like him. Like I think he got it still. I still haven't heard nobody is like spot on as him. But yeah, so definitely he's with the cause. He's down, even through all what he went through growing up. He definitely has faced his demons on and off camera. Has had fallings out with different people in the entertainment industry, but he's still like holding his head up, staying 10 toes down, and still bringing that funny. You know what I mean? And still getting work in Hollywood, and still just a veritable force in the industry. He had many opportunities to take the easy bag, but he's never really done anything buffoonish. It's coming off buffoonish that would cause you to look at him sideways. He ain't never engaged in I don't know a non-curse word to say. He engaged in no weird shit, nothing like that. You know what I mean? So definitely honor and a privilege to give him his roses while he's here. And I don't think people, give him his just dues enough, but he's getting his just dues here on the Narrative Podcast today. So give a warm round of applause for Mr. Tommy Davidson Jr. right, here we go. Moving right along, people. Moving right along. I got like about 2 more sections, and we up out of here. All right, I don't know why I'm thumbing through the notes. I didn't write them last 2 sections. Oh yeah, I did. 3 sections. My bad. I said 2. All right. So, next section is the health and wellness section. And in this section, what I do is basically give you tips to maintain a healthy, active, fit lifestyle. And the reason I feel we need to maintain our vitality is because we're at the target of so many diseases and other little nasty things that keep on putting things in our food, our air, our water, our cosmetics, our cleaning products that specifically target, our unique genetic makeup and cellular structure of, and I'm speaking by when I say us, original people. That's what I mean by us. That, just attack our, cellular structure and genetic makeup. So we have to do our best to maintain and put clean things in our bodies, clean things in our minds, and make sure our spirits is aligned. So just things to, increase your overall health. And that's what I'm attempting to do in these sections. I'm not a doctor. I'm not an herbalist. I'm not no like Reiki healer or nothing like that. I'm just a regular guy that made some changes in my life, and it was on my mind to I am an original man for our people. We got different needs, and just putting the knowledge out there. That's why I'm doing this section. All right. So when I usually do my health and wellness tips, it's usually the benefits of fruits, health benefits of a fruit, veggie, herb, plants, extract, roots. Also do like physical exercises. You can do mental things like mindfulness, mindful breathing, meditation, prayer. Aromatherapy, acupuncture. That's all the type of stuff I talk about on this section. But today I will be doing the health benefits of, and today's health benefits of is the cacao pod. So the cacao pod, for if you don't know, is just like what chocolate looks like before they refine it. They add the butter and the sugar and they cook it down. You can, in its natural state, it comes in a pod, and it has big, huge seeds. And what surrounds the seeds is this white, fleshy substance. It is very tasty. It's sweet when it's right to eat. If it's underripe, it'll be a little bitter. It'll be fibrous, but when it's ripe, it's juicy and it's sweet. I can't describe the sweetness level, but I've had cacao before. That's the only reason why I'm putting it in the notes. I'm not going to suggest you try something I haven't tried myself. It's very expensive. So I know my pod that I had was like $40. Unless you live in a warmer climate somewhere like California or Florida or as deeper down south, you might can find them for cheaper, but I live in the Midwest and it costs a pretty penny to get it to me. Um, so, um, they improve brain functions. It helps with your long-term and short-term memory. It boosts the immune system. Increases blood flow. It slows down the aging process. It's rich in tons of minerals and vitamins, fiber. So, like, it's antibacterial, antimicrobial, really good for your gut. It'll clean you out, clean all those toxins up out of you. Um, and it's damn near refreshing. Like, it really tastes really good before it's made into chocolate. So, and it's a sustainable food source. It's good for your hair, skin, and nails as well. So it'll behoove you to try to eat cacao in its natural state. I mean, if you can't get the fresh cacao pod, they do have like cacao powder. I don't know if it's as good as, in its natural state in the powder. Because like veggies, like if you get veggie powder, they're just as good as the fresh veggies. But I don't know, like, if it's like cacao powder is, as good as the fresh cacao because they add stuff to it. They add like aluminum and sulfate and all that other stuff. So if you can get it fresh, get it fresh. And that will conclude my health and wellness section. And now on to my speaking point of the day. And sometimes I kind of remix topics, and I feel like I gotta remix this topic. Something that just happened. Like I said, I don't drag people. I don't put other original people down. But what I do is call them out when they got all of us looking crazy. I will say something about that, about their behavior when they got us all out here looking crazy. I kind of really don't need to because like a lot of people are getting on this guy's head. A lot of people just already don't like him for real. So, but I'm going to say something because it came across my radar. So my speaking point basically is just like, we shouldn't like get distracted by distractions. It's just some people that don't even deserve a response when they say things because they are operatives. They're placed here in the industry to distract and divert our attention away from important things. So I can give you example upon example of all the distractionary, I don't know a nice word to say it, distractionary coons that distract and divert our attention away from important things that we need to be focusing on. But this particular brother, he's always saying something negative, nothing positive. Nothing positive I've ever heard all since he's been around. I never heard this brother say nothing positive, nothing inspiring, nothing uplifting, and nothing motivational. I've only heard like negativity and crassness coming from him. But I'm going to talk about it. So the most recent DJ Academics, like he said, he did a clip, and he basically said, how are you going to be a foundational member of hip hop and you live in Dusty? Because I guess his rationale behind that comment was that hip hop is $1 billion a year industry, and if you started out at its beginning stages, like how can you not be benefiting from it? How are you like not living in a mansion, a yacht, and all that, and have everything that like some of these young rappers got. And he basically said the word dusty. That was his exact words. He called them dusty. They dusty. When you meet some of these old, people from when hip hop first started, they live in dusty. They look dusty. He said they look dusty. So, I just did a highlight or a spotlight section on a few episodes ago. LL Cool J, he took to his Instagram to address the comment, and he did it in typical, LL Cool J fashion. He was monotone. He wasn't angry. He wasn't enraged. He was just basically like schooling the brother because he seemed like misinformed about hip hop and just life in general. Like you don't have to have money. Just because you don't buy stuff don't make you, dusty. Like, do you know how many like millionaires and billionaires are in the world? Like they don't even, the only time they wear that high fashion in designer stuff is when they're going to conduct some business. When you see most of these millionaires and billionaires rocking around, and I'm just speaking about the Caucasian ones, they got like cargo shorts, open-toed sandals, and probably like a short sleeve polo shirt. That's their drip. And then for their cars, it ain't no foreign car. It's probably like a business class sedan when they're out, handling their business, just, going wherever they got to go. They dress comfortable is what I'm saying. So you shouldn't be like externally like judging people, like judging the book from its cover, by the cover, because you don't know what kind of type of money they got, what type of business they're conducting. You just basing it on how they look. Because DJ Act, people can get on your looks, how you be looking, how you be dressing. And like I said, I don't drag people on my platform, but the reason why I brought it up is a distraction. I get why LL Cool J says something, because he's been in the hip hop culture pretty much since he was a child, since back in the single digits. He's seen it from, its inception. He's born, on the East Coast. There's an open debate right now of all the people that contributed. Some comments were said about, the Jamaicans and Spanish, Puerto Ricans, and West Indies. Like they started it. It's just like, the origin story of hip hop is so convoluted. Nobody's never going to know how it started and who originated it. Like it's never going to happen because it's just so open-ended. But what I will say, like DJ Academics, one concentric part that everybody can agree on is that the DJ is the like quintessential building block for the culture of hip hop. And Academics, you're a DJ. You're a DJ, and you said that. DJ Academics, you let that come out of your mouth, and you're a DJ. Bruh, you're a DJ. Like, you know how many other DJs just done smacked in the face? So like LL Cool J said, you're playing yourself saying stuff like that. But I'm going to get into the meat why he said it. Because again, I'm going to bring it, I kind of went out. Now I'm reeling myself back into my original point. Is like people like him are just distractions. There's something looming that we need to be, focused and paying attention to. And when like people like him just come out and say random stuff, you know, we shouldn't even like pay attention and give it no credence because it's not nothing really do we need to be worrying about. Like you gotta let suckers like do sucker-ish. Like you gotta let them just rock. In my own opinion, I get why LL Cool J responded to him, but in my own opinion, I feel he shouldn't even rolled off the couch for him because he's been in the industry for many years as well, and he knows, you know, the motive for people like him to say the things that they say. And it's just like on some shock value. That's how he built his platform, and I get it. He's the opposing view in hip hop. Like he's never agreeable with nothing. Like he's the opposing view. And you are supposed to have an opposing view. You're not always supposed to just agree with everything everybody says. So he's not totally useless. He's not useless like he got an opposing view. So, but in his like opposing view, he's saying something denigrating and hurtful, not just to the culture of hip hop, but to original people. He's putting an emphasis on money. And so sidebar, money is just a tool. Money don't make you. Money doesn't make you cooler. Money doesn't make you more popular. Money doesn't make you more desirable. Money just affords you certain access to certain things, can get you in certain rooms and do certain things. It doesn't make you better than anybody because you have some money. And I'm going to borrow something from Gilly the Kid. Like I said, I don't do no name calling, but you know, I feel this little quote is like appropriate to, you know, tag on to this conversation. Like, money can't unlame a lame. If you was a lame when you was a broke and then you get some money, you just a lame N-word with money. Like, you know, money doesn't make you better than somebody. But as a people, it's been ingrained into us to think we're better than somebody when we get, you know, some money. That we can treat people certain types of ways, that we can talk down and look down at people when we get a little money, get to acting different. And all money is just a tool. So you can use a tool wisely and build an institution that will be here long after you're gone and for the next generation and the generation after that. Or you can just be satisfied with your money and do things in the moment, and then when you die, no one will remember you. You have no legacy after you leave this earth. You have nobody to say nice things about you because you didn't use that tool wisely. You're supposed to dominate and control the tool. You're not supposed to become the tool. So that was my only speaking point I had about that particular situation. MC Shan, he went super hard in the paint, but you know, like I said, people like that aren't really worth your words worth addressing, because we already know why he's doing it. He's doing it for shock value. He's doing it to increase his numbers. So like that he got a response out of LL Cool J, that just made his brand go over the top. Like he was waiting for bated breath for somebody of that caliber to say something. And even though like LL didn't say his name, he just said in his post a DJ, but everybody know he's the DJ that said it. So that's in a way giving him the attention that he was looking for. So basically, longer story short, he knows what he's doing, but he's not worth responding to because he's just playing the game. And the only out we ever gave academics is like, well, nobody says nothing when the white boys do it. Nobody says nothing when Adam 22 or 21, whatever his name is, or DJ Vlad or all them other white boys, when they say stuff like that, nobody checks them. But y'all like check me. Like that's the only out we really gave him. He's like, damn, he does kind of got a point about that. But like I said, when people say buffoonish, just like insipid, ill-informed, misinformed things like that, you shouldn't even just consider it. And just like when people like him say stuff, it's just hit the scroll button. Just hit the scroll on your phone, on the device, just scroll past. La 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 la, I don't hear you. La 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 la, I don't see you. You don't exist. La 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 la. And then they won't have a platform. But like I said, I don't drag people, I don't talk bad people, I don't put people down on this platform. It's all about uplifting, edifying, and empowering. But he knows what he's doing. He's playing the game. So eventually, when you play the game, you play yourself out. So with people like that, you gotta let them play themselves out. Like, don't even acknowledge them. Don't respond to them. Just scroll right on past. Scroll right on past. All right. So this was a super quick one today, guys. My final section of the Narrative Podcast, and it's my final thoughts of today, of the day. My final thought of the day. So my final thought is just basically like just something to think about, to something to resonate with you. Just something to inspire critical thinking, a gem, a jewel, a pearl of wisdom, whatever you want to call it. Just something to stick with you and be like, that's word. All right, I feel that. So my final speaking points of the day, or my final thought of the day, is called the final thought section. Excuse me. I didn't say it's final speaking point, but it is my final speaking point, but it's my final thought. So that's what this section is called, my final thought section. My final thought is when the love leaves, don't let the love change you. And when that, I mean like when the love I had it written down because it came to me. I'm like, oh, that's deep. But what I mean is like when the love changes, don't let the love change you. And what I mean when like people get to acting different around you, switching up, just out of the blue, out the okie doke, when they stop texting, when they stop calling, when they stop checking on you, like don't let that make you embitter yourself and harden your hearts. Still keep on being you, but just acknowledge that situation is gone and over with. Like don't stop showing love because you stop getting love. Still keep on being the bright, bubbly person you are. But if they cool on you, let them be cool on you. And it's going to happen in life. It's going to happen to people you wouldn't even believe it get cool on you. Just out the blue, nowhere. For years and years, they just all of a sudden I'm cool on that. I'm cool on you. When that time arises, don't be like, well, just F everybody. I'm going to just start doing people how they do me. Nah, don't just start doing people how they do you. Keep doing you. If anything, amplify how you are. Whatever they got cool on you, do it 10 times more. Unless you're an a-hole. Like if people done got cool on you because you an a-hole, like, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't just be a bigger a-hole. But yeah, don't let the love change you, man. Don't let that harden your heart and make you callous and porous and repel people, because you're going to repel somebody that's going to enhance what you're trying to build and add on to what you're trying to build. Just because somebody else, they ain't feeling you, they can't see your vision, like your conversation repels them, like you gotta let them leave. When they get to leaving and moving around, let them move around. You don't try to convince them, don't try to sell them, or don't be trying to like, well, what did I do? You know what I mean? And trying to find out why and what did you do and all that. Just accept it and just keep on being you. You ain't got to go online blasting them and talking about how dirty they did you and all that. Like, it is what it is. But I'm gonna still keep. You can just still keep being you and still keep winning. Just keep on grinning and winning, man. That's what you do. Just keep on grinning and keep on winning. If you're the only one in the room doing it, like, so you might have to go on your little journey all by yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, I kind of get social media a little bit now in respect. Like, when you see people posting pictures and they're just all by themselves, they don't have no friends, no family members. They're taking just single selfies all by themselves, because everybody can't come for the ride. Everybody can't see your vision. You know what I mean? It ain't that you're a loner. It's just that, like minds attract like minds. And there's probably like no mind like yours. And so sometimes it's a lonely little ride. But you can't let it, make you bitter. Can't let it make you vengeful and hateful and spiteful and going around, with a grimace on your face. You got to just keep on grinning and keep on winning. Like, if they come around, cool. If they don't, then they don't. But don't, get into a sunken place about it. Don't just be like, develop that I got to get them before they get me mentality. Just keep on grinning and keep on winning. That's my final thought of the day. Thank you for listening. This is Halsey Allen. This has been another full episode of the Narrative Podcast. Before I leave you, I would ask you to download this episode and all previously recorded episodes of the Narrative Podcast to help me support, to help make this platform grow bigger, so I can give you a better narrative podcast experience. Like, I want to start adding guests, work on the clarity, the crispness and the clarity of my audio episodes, so I can bring you better quality. So just download this episode and all previously recorded episodes of the Narrative Podcast recorded by me, Halsey Allen, because there's a lot of them. So wherever you get your podcast from, make sure it's by Halsey Allen, the Narrative Podcast. Also, I have a personal poetry blog called Halsey's Poetry Corner. Please support that. You can support it by visiting www.mrhalseysblogs.com and sharing my poems from that site on all your social media platforms: Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Reddit, TikTok, YouTube, whatever you got. Share one of my poems on there. That's how you share, help me grow that platform, and I'll funnel it back into here. I got all kinds of projects coming out, so just be on the lookout. I'm really on the finishing touches on a whole lot of my projects. That floodgate's about to open. I'm about to flood y'all with a whole mess of content pretty soon. Just watch. Also, keep an ear out for my random lives. Like I said, I go live during the weekday. I don't know what days during the weekday that I'm going to go live, what time my schedule will allow me, just all kinds of factors, whether I even feel like doing a live. But when I go live, like, don't miss those. And the best ways not to miss them is to, the way this platform is set up, when I'm recording live, it usually goes to my YouTube viewer channel. So, if you subscribe to my YouTube viewer channel, Halsey Allen, and click your notifications, you will never miss me when I'm live. And then also follow me on Twitter, Halsey Allen. I stay good at Halsey Allen. And then you would never miss a live episode because, my platform, it automatically uploads to Twitter and YouTube. So follow me on Twitter and follow me on YouTube, and you will never, miss me when I'm live. Set your notifications and all that. And I already told you to support my poetry blog. It's on blogger.com, powered by Adam. I pretty much covered everything. Thank you for listening. Join me again next weekend for a full episode of the Narrative Podcast. In the meantime, download this episode and all previously recorded episodes of the Narrative Podcast. Support my poetry blog, MrHalseyBlogs.com, www.MrHalseyBlogs.com on Blogger. Keep an eye out for all future projects. Thank you for listening. Love, Narrative Podcast, Halsey Allen, signing off. Peace.
Set your place on fire. Put a little bit of shit, put a little bit of shit, put a little bit of gasoline. Put a little bit of shit, put a